So let's give Bishop William Brown our energy right now. Let's give it up for him one more time as he is coming.
Good afternoon. How you doing? My portion of this is to talk to you, who are involved in ministry as well as business, those who are interested or who have a drive and an idea to start a business or a ministry. So this is mostly geared to those who are caught up in marketplace as well as ministry. So the thing is about this is that, and I'm going to try to cover all of this within the time frame that I have to try to encourage all of you to be able to understand that it's awesome to have an idea. There are people who have ideas every day. Oftentimes, you have at least about 500 ideas. Some are conscious and some are subconscious that come into your mind that you think about. Now, if everybody on the face of the planet have these ideas and these things are happening, what's the difference? Why is it only seem as though a small group is more successful than the others? Well, I will tell you why. It's that most of the people who have these ideas don't act on them. They just become ideas. They never flourish. None of the people who are not successful don't do anything to take a step forward. It's always the same conversation over and over on repeat. I got a vision. I got an idea. I have a book. I'm going to launch this website. I'm going to launch this church. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. We attend conferences wasting money thinking that you're going to get something new over and over again. It doesn't matter how many conferences you go to. It doesn't matter how many books you buy. If you don't act on it, it's all for nothing. All you did was just give money away, right? And I'm pretty sure some of you are tired of giving away money, right? So I want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about the startup. And most of the times people have these strategies and things like that, which is good. There's nothing wrong with strategy. But I want to give you something from my experience. Okay? We started a congregation called Boom Church, or Believers of One Messiah. We started that in 2018. But it didn't start there. It was an idea that was given, and it started from a tour that I was doing when I was traveling. I'm going to give you points. Most of the time that when from teaching, I understand that many people are caught up in just reading. All right, we can come in here all day and put scripture on the screen and faith without works is dead and all these other things, but we don't really understand that we're visual people. In the day and age in which we live, more people watch videos more than they read books. More people watch videos more than they read books. It's a fact. It's a documented fact. So most people who do buy books only buy a book for maybe a chapter or a paragraph in that book that suit whatever they need. The rest of the book, they don't read it. It's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time to buy the book. It's a waste of time in buying it and do nothing about it. That's the problem. I want to talk to you about strategy. I want to talk to you about target, ideas, vision, location, and marketing. All of this is based upon the success that we have as a ministry. We've been around since 2018 officially as a ministry, going on 5 years. In the first 2 years, we launched 2 congregations, 2 churches in 2 different states. Both of them were successful. After that, we began to add more congregations to our those that were some were under us, that came under us, and others that we launched and we planted. We're going on 5 years and we have 6 congregations. All of them are successful. I'm going to show you how I did it. This goes into, and hopefully we get the screen up. If not, we're just going to have to roll with it. Okay? I'm going to give you the blueprint of how I did it. Now, this does also work for those who are in the marketplace as well as in ministry. It works for whoever if you apply it. It's no difference between you and Ted Turner. Why is he successful? It's because he got more faith than you. Faith is something that's in the earth that works for anybody. Let me say it again. This is why atheists can go and sell their house, sell their cars, and all this stuff because they have a vision, they believe in it so much. While we, the believer who carry the Bible around, we talk about what we believe, but we never act on what we believe. That's the difference, right? So I want to first start out by telling you everything is possible. Every single thing is possible. If you're in ministry or business, it's possible. right? The next thing I want to tell you and ask you is your idea unique? Or are you trying to sound like everybody? Do you strive to sound or go with the trend? Or are you trying to be something else that you were uniquely created to be? Everybody can have the same idea, but a different way about it. You got so many hamburger places, but they're different ideas about hamburgers. They use some of the same ingredients, but there's something unique about, name a hamburger place, McDonald's. McDonald's has a patty, but the uniqueness about Burger King is their marketing strategy is we got a flame broiled patty. We got the cheese, we got everything you need. But the uniqueness that sets us apart from everybody else is flame broiled. You have Five Guys. What makes Five Guys unique? I'm going to tell you the secret to Five Guys uniqueness. Because in my strategy of understanding how marketing goes, I make sure I ate every burger. One day I bought one burger from each one, and I'm trying to figure out what is the difference. What sets it apart from the other one? And I come to find out that it was the aluminum foil that Five Guys use. That's what makes their burgers taste better than Wendy's. Next, planning. What is development? Hopefully it's coming up good. Development. You have to not only have the strategy, but you also have to develop it. That requires you to take time. Every second of the day requires you to develop what you believe. Every second, which means you cannot allow people to waste your time. Stop allowing people to waste your time. Every second, from the time you wake up, the idea, you should be developing it while you're cooking breakfast. When you're on lunch break, instead of gossiping and talking to everybody, you sit in your car and you make sure that you develop your idea. When you get a break at the job, if you work in a call center and the phone not ringing, your idea should be being developed in between the calls. You have to make this your life. You have to make it your life. As I said, 2 congregations the first year, successful. So the next question is, ask, how did I do it? How did I do it? How did I have 6 successful ministries in 5 years and counting? Are we trying to plant because we just want to plant? No. See, that's how you waste money. You plant based off a need, which means your strategy has to do recon to find out where's the need. There's so many people out here trying to plant churches and be successful. They don't have an idea. They just see something. I want to plant a church because somebody else planted. Then you're trying to keep up. Successful ministry isn't about how many you have. It's the quality of what you have. So we're not trying to become a mega church. The point is to make people have an idea in their mind that ministry and business is mega to them, which means the vision that I believe, you got to take on that same thing. We have to become clones of each other. Have to become clones. Oh, there we go. Okay. So go down to the Kevin Hart one. There you go. How do we do it? Go to the next slide. Have a vision. You got to have a vision. If I ask you, what is your vision? A vision is not a mission statement. You should be able to tell me within a minute, and I should be able to see what you see. It's your vision. I should be able to see what you see, which means you have to find the words. And not only that, but I have to hear the confidence in what you believe. Because if you don't believe it, how am I going to believe what you believe? Why would I follow you if you don't believe what you believe? Which means you telling me you just throwing out stuff trying to see if it sticks. By the time if somebody roll up to you and say, I have $1 million I want to invest. Give me your vision. Most of us going to stutter because we think about the $1 million. We won't be able to get that over. Make sure I'm on my time because I want to be on time now, right? Let's go to the next. Consistency is the key to being successful. So our ministry focuses on small groups. We don't focus on trying to have 100 people. We focus on trying to have a small group, empower them to be able to do the work. If the leader, the only one is doing the work, and we don't have to argue. In our congregation, I'm just sharing, I'm not boasting any of that, okay? I want to help you. In our congregation, nobody is arguing who's going to be the next manager. Nobody's arguing who's going to be the next supervisor. You know why? Because every leader in all of our congregations, they don't have to worry about teaching. They get those opportunities. We have a structure set up to where all the teachers teach. On our Wednesday night Bible study, we have 3 teachers teaching at the same time, or 3 teachers teaching on the same Zoom. Instead of us meeting in person, all of the congregations get on one Zoom. You know why? Because the idea was when it's time for us to get together for conference, nobody's trying to figure out who's that teacher. Everybody's on the same page. So I learned that from being in the streets. You make sure that everybody eat. So ain't nobody fighting over who eating. I don't teach on Wednesday. The teachers do. Because I want the people to understand that I believe in you just like you believe in the vision that I had for you, that God gave, right? Let's go to the next. Not only is it key, but it's everything. Consistency is everything. We get tired. She said, this is our 9th year. So what you do is every year you should retool and figure out, okay, what we need to do. Let's go to the next. You have something greater than anybody that was in the time of Colonel Sanders. What you have is, on the next slide, you have social media. Colonel Sanders didn't have social media. Most of the pastors and most of the business people that have become successful, they didn't have social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, all these different sources. You have no excuse to reach people. There's 7 billion people on the planet. 7 billion people on the planet. Somebody gonna like your idea. You gotta find them. Somebody gonna like your ministry. You gotta find them. Instead of you trying to eat off of somebody else, cultivate what your idea is and reach the people that's assigned to your voice. It's 7 billion people on the planet. Why is everybody trying to pull from a pool a small pond? So how did I do it? What medium did I use? I used Facebook. Next slide. Facebook Live. In 2016, I started this thing called the Truth Tour in about 2015, or 2014, 2015. I got on Facebook Live in 2016. What did I do? Everything that I told you. Consistency. Every single day for almost 2 years, I went live. 7 days a week for at least 2 hours teaching. And my niche was teaching on subjects that nobody else was teaching about, that nobody wanted to talk about, the elephants in the room. And I would deal with them theologically and all kind of other areas. Because I was not looking at other people and what they were teaching. I was teaching what I heard in the barbershop that they was talking about. What the dudes on the corner was talking about. And other things that was going on social media in all the groups. I went through all the Facebook groups looking. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about that. And at the time, I wasn't even pastoring the church. I wasn't even thinking about pastoring the church. I was doing the tour. Let's go to the next slide. Here's one of my lives from 2016. Bible study live, Donald Trump president. What does it mean? I hashtag everything. I knew that in order to reach believers, I knew that Bible study would be a great hashtag for Facebook. So I used that. So if anybody go search Bible study, I was coming up in everybody's feed because nobody was using Bible study in 2016. This live has 75 shares, 2.7 thousand views, 456 comments, 2016. And that was one of the many lives. So what did I do in 2016? In December, after my following grew. Next slide. So what did I do? I dropped a question on Facebook. Drop your city and your state below. I want to put together a conference for you in 2017 on neutral grounds, teaching apologetics and Bible prophecy. So what happened? Next slide. Everybody started dropping their names. Everybody started dropping their cities. Oklahoma City, Springfield, Missouri, all the way down to Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, where we got a congregation at, my hometown. That was the first congregation launched in Jacksonville. Philadelphia. I mean, go on and on. Go ahead. 100 and almost 200 comments. Let's go to the next slide. Nothing but people just commenting. Come to my city. Come to this city. Come to that. Colorado. Houston, Texas, where we got a congregation now. Akron, Ohio, where we got a congregation now. Go to the next. So what did I do? This is the part how you build. I didn't have the money to come to those people's cities at all. I know they were following, but it costs money to do business in ministry. It costs. The point of me raising money wasn't to charge them when they get to the door. The point of me raising money was to make sure that I got there because they said they wanted me to come. So I threw up a GoFundMe. I created a GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe was coming to your city. And I posted on my page, and GoFundMe went crazy. Donations, 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 donations. Let's go to the next. So what did I have to do? What did I do next? I created an event page so I can know how many people was coming to each city. Each city, I created an event page. So if I was going to Houston or wherever it was, I set the date, I sent it out, and then I knew how many guests that I would get. So I needed to know how many guests that I would get. Why did I need to know how many guests, y'all? So I could prepare, right? So I need to know what size building I need. If I got 106 people, I can't have a conference room that's going to hold 50, right? So every city, we had at least 75 people attending, at least, and it was free. I didn't charge the people a dime to come. I took the money that I got from GoFundMe, and I invested it into the people. And when they came, they were like, yo, man, we had, and guess what? They left with so much information. I should have wrote and made books off of this stuff, but I didn't. And that's not against anybody else, but at the time I just didn't have the time to do the book. Come on, let's go. Let's go to the next. We almost done. So I called hotels. and rented their conference room to make sure that I helped the people and also was able to take care of the hotel. I think we got one more slide. Is that the last slide? This is the strategy. This is the target. This is the vision, the marketing, the location, the ideas in order for you to start up. You need a starting place. You need somewhere to start. And I just want to share how I did it. Maybe it will help you in your business, and maybe it'll help you in your ministry. Thank you. Go ahead, sis. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I first started out, I was doing everything by myself, so I didn't have didn't have anybody. But the tours is where is every pretty much 95% of those that are in our leadership now came from the tours. So everyone that came to the tours, they were over those cities as elders and deacons. And so they kind of handle, so if I'm not there, then we also have some full-time team. We have some sisters as well who lead with their husbands in congregations. So I was able to find out who was serious about what, because there's a lot of people that's going to say, I'm with you, I'm down. But when the rubber meets the road, because after that, you saw those cities, for about a year, I was gone every weekend into a different city. Then I would travel and come back, and then on Sunday, I would still serve full time at our local body. Sometimes I would sleep, nodding off. But yeah, that's you develop your team. It's almost kind of how Christ did, where he went and he had 70 people with him, but only 12, they stayed around. Because when the rubber meets the road, some of those people have to also, because of the lack of funds, some of them they invested. That's when I knew they were serious, because they would even rent their own cars and they would travel and find, hey, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be there, we coming. Or some of them, they would jump in the car with me and drive to these cities. So that's kind of how we were able to build our leadership team in those cities. Amen.